Hello students, welcome back to another social studies video, and today we are looking at the topic regional integration. So in this video we will be doing a quick revision on this topic from the new revised social studies syllabus. Now, we know that regional integration is a challenging topic for students. However, today we will be looking at what are the factors that are hindering regional integration. We know that the Caribbean countries, they have been trying to integrate, to unite for many years. However, this is proving difficult as there are a number of factors that are coming into play that makes regional integration challenging within the Caribbean. Now, if you're looking at your syllabus or looking on the screen, you can see that there are about 10 to 12 factors that are hindering regional integration. However, we will be only looking at about 4 of these factors. Okay, students? So the first one we're going to look at is the geography of the region. This is one of the factors that is definitely causing a challenge for Caribbean countries to integrate. Now, the Caribbean countries, they are very close in proximity to each other, definitely. However, even though these countries are close in proximity to each other, we can only travel by sea and by air. So the countries, they are only connected by sea and by air. So you cannot say that you're going to take a taxi or you're going to travel by land to another Caribbean country, even though the countries are in close proximity. However, the physical distance from each other has been hampering integration between these countries. So they are close in proximity, they're very close. However, the physical distance where you have to travel from one Caribbean country to the other is definitely hampering integration. I know you may be thinking that the Caribbean countries being so close would make it easier or allow them to create some form of physical connections. However, this is not the case. Imagine you are traveling from Jamaica to Cuba, right? Let's look at the distance. Even though some persons in Jamaica would say that they can stay in Jamaica and see across Cuba. That's how close the two countries are. However, the distance between Jamaica to Cuba by air and sea is 382 kilometers, meaning that it will take less than 1 hour by air. If you take a plane from Jamaica going to Cuba, it will take you less than 1 hour to reach Cuba. Can you imagine? And you must be saying, so why not take a taxi? It could be easier to travel by a taxi and reach, and maybe the distance would be less. However, this is a challenge. The geography of the region is a challenge that is preventing regional integration. And let me tell you, as close as Cuba is to Jamaica, when you look at the flights and the fare to travel from Jamaica to Cuba or from any other Caribbean country to another, it is very expensive. It is very expensive for Caribbean nationals. So it is such a shame that you live in a Caribbean country and maybe you want to travel to another Caribbean country to explore, to do business for tourism purposes. However, the cost of the flights, they would hamper your decision to do so. So the geography of the region is definitely one of the factors that is affecting regional integration. Another factor that is preventing Caribbean countries from uniting, from integrating, from cooperating is the lack of diversification of production. Now you must be wondering, Miss, what are you talking about now? How does the lack of diversification of production affects regional integration in the Caribbean? Now, we are aware by now that Caribbean countries produce similar agricultural crops. And many times while I was in high school, I would wonder, why is this so? There are so many crops in the world that countries could produce. Why is it that the countries in the Caribbean, they tend to produce the same crops? And the answer is simple. This is because majority of the countries have the same tropical climate. And you know what comes with tropical climate? A good soil type. So because the countries of the Caribbean, they have the same tropical climate and they also have the same soil type, you'll find that they most of the time produce the same agricultural produce. You'll find different countries in the Caribbean producing coffee, producing bananas for export in order to build their economy. And we know that this can be very challenging. Now, what do you think will happen if you have majority of the countries in the Caribbean producing the same crops? Bearing in mind that the aim is to promote regional integration, what do you think will happen? Well, very good answer. If your answer is there will be competition for market, yes, and the competition for market will increase because if I am producing bananas, you are producing bananas, and our friend is producing bananas, and this is the main crop that will grow our economy. This is the crop that will, or the business that will improve our standard of living. Definitely, we are going to be in competition for market to sell our crops. And this is what is happening with Caribbean countries, right? And another thing that could happen because of Caribbean countries producing the same crop or because of lack of diversification of production in the Caribbean is that trading with each other becomes a challenge. By now, you know that interregional trading is very important to regional integration. It is very important to Caribbean countries. However, because of this lack of diversification of production in agriculture, you will find that trading countries in the Caribbean, trading with each other is definitely a challenge. If I am producing bananas and you are producing bananas, there is no reason for me to purchase or be in business with you because we are both selling the same products. So this is another challenge that is definitely hindering regional integration in the Caribbean. Okay, guys, so I hope that you are definitely learning about the factors that are hindering regional integration. And when you see this question on the CXC Social Studies Paper 2 or Paper 1 paper, you will be able to answer this question and get your full marks. Please remember, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please go over, guys, and subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and definitely watch those ads. Okay, guys? And finally, another factor that hinders regional integration is differences in stages of development. Now, the United Nations uses a number of factors to measure the level of development of a country. So in the Caribbean, based on these measures that were used by the United Nations, some countries of the Caribbean are classified as more developed countries are so-called MDC countries, and others are classified as low developed countries, LDC. Now, most of the smaller Caribbean countries, as we would assume based on the classification, they are afraid to be a part of the integration process. And again, remember, we are looking at the factors that are hindering regional integration. In other words, what are some of the things that are preventing Caribbean countries from cooperating, from integrating, from uniting, right? And definitely the smaller countries, the less developed countries, they are afraid of trusting the more developed countries, which would be the larger countries, right, for a number of reasons. Now, look at this scenario. Can you imagine a country having a population of 4 million people? Their economy is definitely blooming, comparing to a country that only has a population of 1.5 million people. Their economy is growing at a slow pace, right? And somebody's coming to these countries to tell them, look, I definitely believe that you guys should integrate. I believe that you guys should cooperate. I believe that you guys should work together in achieving regional integration. Sounds easy, yes. However, one may assume that the smaller countries, they are finding it difficult to trust the larger countries, right? And these smaller, less developed countries, they may believe that they will be pressured by the by the more developed countries, right? So I really have to stop here today for this video. But just to conclude, so there are many factors that are hindering regional integration. It would be a very good thing for all Caribbean countries to come together and say, yes, we are going to unite. It is possible for all Caribbean countries to integrate, and at the end of the day, all countries will benefit from being a part of regional integration. However, guys, this is proving challenging. Now, there are many other factors. I want you to choose two other factors that are in the regional integration, and you are going to do your own research on these factors. Okay, students, now please remember to subscribe and stay tuned. Turn on that notification bell for another revision video on regional integration.